Clemson is officially underway with spring practice. I can't believe it. Football season is back, and we will discuss it. Before we do, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of my exclusive Clemson content I put out every single week. All right, Tiger fans, football fans, college football fans, it is spring practice, and they are getting started now at Clemson. I had the opportunity to go check out Dabo Swinney's press conference today, first of the 2023 season in the spring, kicking it off. And then I got to stick around to see the CAB, the Clemson Athletic Branding Institute, and also check out 7 sessions of practice, so about 30 minutes or so of practice. And I'll give you my thoughts on all of it because there's a lot to unpack from the first spring practice of the 2023 season. Really, the kickoff of the 2023 season, a lot going on for the Tigers. And let's start off with Dabo Swinney's opening statements, specifically talking about injuries on the football team and for the spring. Now, obviously, were a ton the past 2 years. It seems like spring just not been good for the Tigers, and I don't want to start off with kind of bad news, but it really is. If you listen to me on Walt Deptula's show today, it really is not the best news because Clemson, yet again, for another spring season, is without a ton of guys who they really need, and you expect to step up for them as starters in 2023. So starting off, you got Bo Collins. He's dealing with a shoulder injury. He will be able to have or participate in individual drills, but will not do any kind of one-on-one against a good defense, anything like that. He'll stay away from contact. So that's the start. All right, so you've got one of your wide receivers that you hope to finally put it all together and really show out this season is, again, not really going to participate, in those team drills. So he will be there with the team. He will be there in one-on-one stuff. He will be there doing, one-on-one type drills and stuff like that, but he's not going to be like offense versus defense out there in formation, out there against the defender type stuff. So really going to limit what the quarterback can do, whoever the quarterback may be. I mean, it's Cade Klubnik right now, but any quarterback that's out there that would like to get on the same page with him, I think it's going to limit them for sure. After that, you have a ton of guys that he mentioned on the defensive side of the ball. Sheridan Jones, he's limited. Ruka Roro, Peyton Page also have listed. Xavier Thomas listed as not going to participate fully in the spring. Jaden Phillips, also another one that had ankle surgery. So a lot of guys in that defensive secondary not gonna be out there. Some of the guys in the defensive interior. Another wide receiver out there that I saw in a yellow jersey was Adam Randall. He's a guy who can compete in that individual setting and in those drills with the team as far as like with the wide receiver group, but will not be out there, one-on-one or in a game simulation type scenario. On the offensive line, I think a lot of the fans already know about what's going on there, but I have listed Walker Parks, who has an ankle injury, and he's going to be out for the spring. And then you have Marcus Tate, who had the knee injury. He will also be out for the spring as well. Again, even though they're out, a lot of times they're there. They're still rehabbing. They're getting better. It's not like that they can't do anything. They may be able to do a few different types of drills here and there, what is allowed. But besides that, I would not expect them, from what we're hearing from Dabo Swinney, would not expect them to do much as far as like offense versus defense, or being those ones versus ones or ones versus twos or whatever it may be, right? So those guys, not all 100%. John Williams, Paul Tyson. I saw Paul Tyson wasn't really throwing a football today. John Williams had an appendix taken out, so he's going to be limited. Troy Stellato is a guy who's got that carbon fiber brace on. We really haven't seen anything from him since some of his highlight reel stuff in high school. So still hampered by his ACL injury that he tore in the fall. So a lot of injuries there. I named a ton of people that were starters, a ton of people that we'd hope to see, and we're not gonna see them in the spring. Not gonna see them in spring practice. Not gonna see them at the spring game really participate. So you're really gonna have to get better for those guys. They're gonna have to get better now. Get healthy, get rehabbed up, and have their shot. Get back in the weight room, slowly, gradually, get in those individual drills when they can with their position group. And then they're going to have to gradually get ready and get ramped up for the fall to show what they can do, again, with limited time to really show out. But in the fall, they're really going to have to turn it on and show the coaching staff and their fellow teammates what they can do and what they can provide to the team. So again, starting out, not necessarily the best news from an injury front. A ton of guys out. I try to look at it from a positive standpoint. It seems like college football is kind of going this way, where your spring is just a bunch of injuries. I don't know about a ton of the other teams out there, but it just seems like, especially with college football having more games being played and games going into January, late December, these elite teams are really using the spring as kind of a get better, get well soon, if you will, time period. So we'll see. If you're a pessimist, well, if you're looking on the negative side of things, well, it is looking like Clemson will be without some guys that they'd like to have as starters. So you're going to be limiting yourself with that continuity, with that that ability to get on the same page between your wide receivers and quarterbacks and your offensive line being on the same page. It's going to give opportunity for guys who may not have had an opportunity originally, maybe on third on the depth chart, maybe second. It'll give them opportunities to show what they can do, and maybe you find a spot out there. Maybe you really show the work you've put in the offseason, and you find a spot out there. Obviously, a lot of these guys that we have mentioned, like Sheridan Jones and Jalen Phillips and XT, Adam Randall, Rukaroro, Peyton Page, these are names that we're very familiar with. Sheridan Jones, I'm not trying to say that they don't need to improve, but they don't really need to prove themselves in spring practice. I think for those guys, go out, get healthy, and come back in the fall, and then show us what you got again. Get back into your starter form, your natural talent level, skill level, back to where you were at, and go from there. So again, this is just injuries. I don't want to go too far into it. I can continue to break up spring practice. So we'll stop there. This is the injury report for spring practice from day one. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you worried about any of these guys listed on the injury report that won't be practicing in the spring? Or are you kind of like me and you think, hey, I'm not going to be pessimistic in the spring. Let it work its way out. Let these new guys or younger guys or maybe second and third string guys get an opportunity. I'd love to get your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'll see you, Tiger fans, at the top of the hill.